What's going on, YouTube? It is Sharonc. If this is your first time here, if this is not, thank you so much for coming back. Thank y'all for rocking with your girl. Like, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for coming in, tuning into my videos. Make sure y'all are subscribed. If you've not already, make sure you pause the video, pause it right now, and subscribe. Make sure y'all are liking the videos and leaving comments. Like, I want to know what y'all think about what I've been putting up so far. I want y'all feedback. I want to engage with y'all, talk to y'all, all that other good stuff. So, welcome to the first episode of Chefing It Up with Shug. It's like, no, I'm not no chef, y'all. Let me just tell y'all, I am not a chef at all. Like, not by a long shot am I a chef. But I really do enjoy cooking. And a lot of times when I cook, I end up posting my stuff like on IG or Facebook, and mad people be in my DMs like sis, like the DMs be flooded. Like, what you cook? How you cook that? What's the recipe? How you do it? So I found myself like legit like giving people like every ingredient and then like a whole book on how to cook it, like what steps to take. So I'm like, yo, why don't I just like start doing a Chefing It Up with Shug session on my channel? So therefore when people ask, I'll be like, y'all want to know how I cooked it? Go check out my channel. Boom, there we go. So like I said, I'm not a chef like at all. So y'all just about to be watching me doing my thing, watching me, you know, cook, chef it up a little bit. Like, I like to think of myself as like a fake chef in my head, like a fake IG chef, because you know what I say. This is what I say. This is my theory. As soon as you put some parsley on it, you officially a IG chef. Like, as soon as you spring a little parsley on it, boom, you're a whole IG chef, sis. You're a whole IG chef out here. So, yeah, like I'm basically about to just be doing my thing in the kitchen. Now, usually I will have my jams playing, some oldies, some trap music, some R&B. Like, I mean, I be all over the place, but YouTube be playing around, so you know, I don't need no copyright, so it's just gonna be me and you vibing and talking. And one thing about me, so I'm not like a official chef, like I said. So when I cook, I don't measure things out at all. I kind of just go by taste. So I'm gonna do my best. I'm going to do my best to put the measurements in the description below. I'm definitely gonna tell y'all all the ingredients, and I'm not going to explain to y'all step by step how to do it, because like that's the purpose of y'all watching me do it. But I'm really going to try my best to kind of like measure out just a little bit, like how I'm doing it, how much. But a lot of times I cook to taste. So like I'll kind of start with a certain amount, and then like with time, like, you know, I'll taste it a little bit and be like, I need a little bit here, need a little bit there. So, you know, like if this is your first time, if you're not a cooker, right? If you don't really be chefing it up like that, I'm gonna really try to do my best to give you some measurements. But if you cook, or if you just know what flavors taste like kind of go by what I'm saying, like go by the measurements. But then, you know, just do your own little thing, because some people like theirs a little spicier, a little saltier, a little more bland. Like, you know, sis, whatever your thing is, you do your thing, okay? So for me, I just like I said, I just taste it as I go, and I cook, and voila. So tonight I'm going to be making, it's actually Sunday. So I just left church and the gym, and I have to go back to church tonight. So I figured I needed to cook something kind of like quick. So, and I'm also doing a 21-day fast. Today is the last day of my fast, y'all. And sis has given up meat. So I gave up all meat with the exception of seafood. So I gave up beef and poultry, but I've been eating seafood. And so this is my last seafood meal. I'm gonna still eat seafood after this, but basically I'm going to do a tilapia, and I don't want y'all in the comments pressuring me about tilapia, sis. Okay, I understand that tilapia is a little like iffy. We don't really know if we should be eating it or not. We don't know if it's like how they making this fish and like where it's coming from and all that other good stuff. But don't be trying to rain on my parade with my tilapia tonight, okay? So I'm gonna make tilapia and shrimp, and I'm gonna cook it in like a cream sauce with spinach and tomatoes. And I'm also gonna do some mashed potatoes, some red mashed potatoes. And I'm gonna let y'all know right now, I'm cheating on these mashed potatoes, because the mashed potatoes, they kind of like the steam bag kind of mashed potatoes. I'm still gonna boil them myself. I ain't gonna steam them in the bag, but I'm cheating a little bit with the mashed potatoes, but I'm still making them from scratch. And I probably do, I don't know if I'm gonna do broccoli or maybe string beans. I don't know, it depends, but y'all see. I'm gonna let y'all in on it, and y'all just gonna watch me vibe out and do my thing. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so the first thing I'm going to be doing is just cutting up. I have some fresh parsley here, so I'm just going to cut up the fresh parsley. Chop a little bit of this up to serve as, number one, a garnish at the end of the meal. Because like I said, as long as you add some parsley on that bad boy, you are officially an IG chef, okay? But also I want to put a little bit, I just like the taste of like fresh herbs in all of my food, to be honest. Like, so this is my tilapia, y'all. And I have already kind of rinsed it off. I thawed it out, rinsed it off, and all that other good stuff. So now I'm just about to season it. And so let me tell y'all what I'm seasoning it with. First, just some regular old salt. And obviously, you should be using salt, like Himalayan salt or sea salt, because it's better. But we just gonna use regular old table salt for right now. And then a little bit of garlic powder. I ain't even gonna say a little bit, because I'll be lying to y'all. I go OD with this garlic powder. You see how much garlic powder I just put on there? Okay, look, sis, because garlic is light. A little bit of onion powder. And these are just, I honestly get whatever seasonings are on sale. So no specific brand at all. Like whatever's on sale, that's what Shug gets, okay? A little bit of black pepper. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of this, as y'all can see, it's almost gone. So it's a rustic rosemary and garlic rub. And I just love the way this tastes on like seafood. I mean, I don't know why, but it basically just has rosemary, garlic, and just mixed together. But it's just something about the taste. Like I don't really know, y'all. I don't know. And then a little bit of paprika. And so this one, obviously, if you don't have like this exact blend, like you can just use regular rosemary. Like I said, I really like garlic, so I already put garlic on there, so you don't have to do that again. But since I love garlic and it's garlic in there, you know, we just going with it, sis. And then paprika. So this is the paprika, and this is just gonna give it a little bit of spice. And if you ain't about the spice life, sis, you can skip that part. And now I'm just gonna flip it and do the same thing. The shrimp is, I'm sorry, now that the fish is already seasoned, I'm going to now season the shrimp. And again, I'm seasoning the shrimp with all the same seasons that I seasoned the fish with. So they're good and seasoned. Do a little toss on those. I love garlic. Garlic is life, but you can never have too much. So even though I already put garlic powder, it's nothing like fresh, like minced garlic. This isn't fresh. This is in a jar, but you know, it's nothing like minced garlic as opposed to just like the powder. So I put a little bit of that in there. So I put about a tablespoon and a half, and then I'm just gonna mix that up. For our sliced tomatoes, we have our parsley, and then the next thing we're also gonna put in there is a little bit of spinach. For me, I'm using bagged spinach, not fresh spinach, just because every time I get fresh spinach, I feel like it only lasts me literally for like 2 days. And so for this, because I like to put it in like a lot of different recipes, a lot of different things that I cook, I just feel like it's easier to just get a bag. And I'm not going to cut this up. Some people, you know, you like to chop it up just a little bit to give it a little bit of like diceness. I don't know, sis, but you know, I'm not a fan of that. I can put mine in just the full size. We're going to use 3 different cheeses. So I just use a mixture of any type of like Italian cheese. So this one is one of the like the new one that they have, these new paired kind of cheeses that they have. So this is a mozzarella and Parmesan. Then we have an Italian 5 cheese, which is key. Like, definitely use an Italian 5 cheese for this. You don't like this one is optional, the mozzarella and Parmesan, but the Italian 5 cheese is not, sis. It's not optional. And then I just have some more Parmesan. And so I like the Parmesan to both top it and also to put within the sauce. Just to use a cast iron skillet. Like, this is like my fave. Like, this thing right here is life, y'all. If y'all don't have one of these, get one of these. So I like to use a cast iron skillet to both grill the shrimp and the fish, and then also to make the sauce. So I'm going to kind of get this heated up. So I have it on high right now, and I'm just going to let it heat up a little bit. And then I'm going to put some extra virgin olive oil in the pan. And once that kind of gets the sizzling, then I'm going to add both the shrimp and the fish. Because, like I said, I'm by myself. So after I'm done cooking, it ain't no pass-off feast. You know how some people be like, well, since I cook dinner, you can clean the dishes and clean the kitchen up behind. Sis, it's just me. And I ain't got time. Like, I ain't got time to be doing a bunch of dishes. So I'm just searing my my tilapia, and I got my pan really hot before I put it in. And so one of the tricks is how you should probably try to aim to cook your fish for about 4 minutes on each side, depending on kind of like eyeball it though, because sometimes you'll kind of cook it, you'll start cooking it, and you'll see that it's kind of cooking through a lot faster. And so it doesn't need a full 4 minutes. And then also depending on like the thickness of it, the cut of it, like sometimes salmon obviously would take a lot longer than tilapia. Whiting may take a lot less than tilapia. It depends on what kind of fish you're cooking. But make sure you're like eyeballing it. Make sure you are kind of paying attention to it. And then, like I said, when you're, make sure your skillet is really hot before you put it in. So get your skillet really hot, then add the olive oil. Don't let the olive oil get super hot because that'll be a disaster. So kind of let your pan get super hot first, then add the olive oil. After that's all done, then you add your fish. And so I added my fish, and one of the ways that you'll know if your fish is ready to be flipped is if you try to kind of like pick it up just a little bit. If it's sticking, then that means it's not ready to be flipped. Like it's still kind of like what they call it, caramelizing or something like that they call it. I don't know, but check, like Google it. It's not like that, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, that's how you know it's not really ready to be flipped, as long as it's sticking. The leftover olive oil obviously still in here. And since I'm adding the shrimp, I don't need to add any more olive oil because there's still a good amount in there. So I'm just going to add the shrimp. And I'm getting all that garlic, honey. All the garlic. I need it all. And so all that garlic that's left over, I need all of that. I need all of that. It could all stay. I am going to add a little more of this. A little more olive oil. Since I have no idea how much olive oil that was, though. I really wish I could tell you all these measurements, but I don't know. It probably was like 2 tablespoons maybe. So on top of what was already in here, I just added like 2 more tablespoons. And it's a good amount of garlic in here already. Usually I would add more garlic, but because there was already so much garlic on the shrimp, I don't have to add any more. I don't know what y'all be using over there, but y'all use that, the old school stuff, you do that too. But I just like the way butter gives it a more, oil obviously is already rich in itself. But adding a little bit of butter to me just gives it adds a little more flavor to it. So heavy whipping cream. This is, how much is in here? So this is 32 ounces. And I'm probably going to add about half of this. And I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit because I just like it to start bubbling over. So I turned the heat up to like medium high. So is that about half? That's about half. Cool. So yeah, so we're gonna let that simmer a little bit. And then I am going to get ready to take the water out of the potatoes. Just make this clear. As you start adding your cheeses, you may actually find that you're going to need more cream, just because cheese makes it thicker. And so depending on how thick it is, and you can turn your heat down. So I'm gonna turn my heat down back to medium. And so I'm gonna add all of this. So this is probably I'm gonna first add, now that the sauce is pretty much done, the base of the sauce, I'm gonna add these tomatoes. And add it with all the juices. You want all that juice in there. And remember that the fish and the shrimp is going in here, so you don't need too much because they're already seasoned themselves. So now that that's seasoned up, I'm gonna just mix that up. I probably will add more cheese. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all because that's just what I do. I like it to be a good creamy consistency, which this is, but I also like it to be a little thicker, so a little bit of cheese will do the trick. Best I believe. So I'm gonna do a little bit more Parmesan. See how much that is? But y'all know how spinach be. Spinach play around. Honey, let me tell you, you put all this spinach in there and you be like, oh, that's a lot of spinach. That spinach started cooking down and you be like, well, where did spinach go? Yes, so this is the kind of, you want them to be soft enough to the point where you can just easily mash them. Otherwise, it just becomes a whole entire hassle. Heavy whipping cream. Butter, about this much butter. I ain't even gonna try to tell you how much butter. Just put a lot of butter in them Jones because butter is life. They need a good amount of salt, but my salt is actually coming out really slow. So I know it looked like I just put a whole lot of salt in there, but I didn't. It's just coming out really slow because it's almost gone. And then garlic powder. It's pretty much wilted. Now I'm gonna add everything back. So before church tonight. So have any of y'all ever done a 21-day fast? Comment below and let me know if you've ever done a 21-day fast. This has been, I've done 21-day fast a lot, honestly. But this has just been a good year for me. And I have so much to share as to why it's been such a good year for me. But this has really been like a really good year for me. And a good year for me. Y'all, the year just started, okay? It just started. But I feel like it has been a good year, and I feel like already, and I feel like it's going to be a good year. I feel like the preview that I've had so far of my year, I feel like this is about to be a great year for me. I feel like a lot of dope things are happening in my life, and I'm excited about them all. So yeah, I'm excited about it. So to me, this 21-day fast just felt a little different. And to be honest, I don't feel like I even went as hard as I sometimes do when I fast. Like, I don't feel like I was like super, I was very intentional about very small things. So like, I was very intentional about the time that I spent with God, making sure that I was reading the Bible every single day, making sure that I was just like spending the time and like really understanding the word in a different way and stuff like that. But outside of that, I didn't do like a lot of, sometimes when I fast, I feel like I'm really, really strict in certain ways. And you know what? Or what I was paying attention to was that when in the Bible, when God says obedience is better than sacrifice. So for me, like when you fast, right? And I'm not gonna get too much into this, y'all. I'm not. This is not supposed to be a preaching or inspiration talk. This is, chefing it up with Shug. But when you fast, you are basically sacrificing some things. You're sacrificing some things that you desire, or that's usually a huge part of your life. And you're saying, I'm willing to sacrifice these things so I can get and press more into the presence of God. And so I sacrificed some things, and yeah, that was key and that was important. But along with sacrificing those things, there was an obedience attached to it. So like the obedience part came with dying to myself, digging into the word of God, just being more intentional about realizing certain things about myself and my purpose. And so usually when it came to fasting, I think that I was so focused on the sacrifice part of it and not necessarily the obedience part of it, or not really pulling and drawing something from it. It was just more of the sacrifice. Like, oh, I can't eat meat. I got to wake up at this time to pray. I can't, I can't be on social media. I can't do this. And so this time when I decided like to be more intentional about the obedience part, the sacrifice, some things that I was sacrificing, yeah, I sacrificed them and I gave up certain things. But like, it was just certain things, like it didn't feel the same. And I think it was because I took the focus off of what it was that I was giving up too fast, and I put the focus on what the purpose behind my fast was and what I was trying to draw from the fast and what I was trying to get from God in that moment. So this 21-day fast just feels different. Today's the last day, so that's why I'm going to church at 7, so we can have like our finale prayer. And I just feel like it was something different that happened in this 21-day fast. And like, I was honestly, because like social media, I gave up social media, and a couple times I found myself on social media for very specific reasons, but still, I'm like, you on social media and you said you was fasting on social media. I gave up meat, chicken, like I told y'all. Sis had some chicken the other day at Chick-fil-A, okay? I felt horrible afterwards, trust me. Like, not mentally, but like my body was like, sis, why you eat that? So like a few times, like some of the things that I sacrificed, I'm like, I messed up. But it wasn't that part that was the most important to me. Like the purpose behind my fast was just different. It wasn't what I sacrificed. It was what are you sacrificing this for? What are you fasting for? What level of obedience are you trying to get to? Because more so, that's what it is. Like 21 days of like me devoting my time and my attention to and being intentional about that part of that relationship with Christ. So therefore, when it comes down to it, like I'm able to like revert back to that, and I'm able to revert back to that level of obedience that was like built up during these 21 days, and I can keep it going, and I can go beyond, and it could carry me throughout my year. So it wasn't about like, oh, well, what you sacrificed? Did you eat meat while you was on your little fast, girlfriend? Did you get on social media while you was on your little fast? It wasn't about that. It was more so about the obedience part. So that's my little spill about it. I might do a video to kind of go a little bit more on like that, like my year, what I feel is coming for me in my 2019, like what I feel is coming for me, because God has been up to something. So y'all just stay tuned. In the meantime, I'm about to kind of clean up my kitchen a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back to y'all when these green beans are done, because it ain't much to these green beans. So y'all saw that I put a little bit of salt, pepper, garlic. I'm also going to put a little bit of seasoning salt up in these bad boys, just because I like my green beans to be pretty seasoned well. So I'm going to put a little bit of like the Lowry's, y'all. You put a little bit of that in there, and I'm going to put a little bit of butter in there. I haven't done that yet because I need to clean my kitchen up, because I don't really work well in dirty kitchens. It just drives me insane. So because I've been talking to y'all, I haven't been able to clean the way I usually would. So just give me a moment. I'll be back. All right, guys, so this is the finished product. So because it's like a messier dish, so it has sauce and all that, it doesn't look the greatest sometimes, but it is delicious. So we have our mashed potatoes with garlic, Parmesan cheese, and then we have our tilapia shrimp in the garlic cream sauce mixed with tomatoes and spinach, and then we have our green beans. And so that is it. And just like that, it's done, y'all. Just like that, it's done. So thank y'all so much for watching. Thank you for coming along with Shoving It Up with Shug, as I'm also making a mess of myself, But anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure y'all, again, like, subscribe, comment below. Let me know if this looked like something you would eat. If you like, nah, sis, that don't look too good. Like, I don't know about that. And let me know what y'all want to see me cook next. Like, I do a little bit of everything. I don't know about everything, but I do a little bit of everything. So let me know what y'all want to cook on the next Chefing It Up with Shug. Until next time.